I guess, in here. Butterfly pea flower.
Pea flower.
Yeah,
Okay.
as in PEA, not PEE.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like,
Butter butterfly pea flower.
interesting. Okay.
So, today's episode of Sound Booth Theater Live Cold Reads. Oh, fuck! 1 second.
Interesting. Okay.
So, today's episode of Sound Booth Theater Live Cold Reads. Oh, fuck! 1 second. Such a frustrating day. Today's episode of Sound Booth Theater Live Cold Reads, Zero Recall by Sara King, is brought to you by Friday Afternoon Tea. Let's see, here we go. This is the Critical Blend. Apparently it's for bards.
That's freaking awesome.
It's the live stream collection. If you guys are interested, go check out fridaytea.com. I was in NorwestCon this weekend with Matt Dinneman. Oh shit, no, this isn't the one I'm drinking. It's the same brand. Fuck. Hold on. Everything is screwed today.
That's funny.
Everything. I've done everything wrong today. Okay. I'm actually drinking the Smut tea.
Smut. Oh, that's so much
Smut.
better.
But it's also a live stream collection. And yeah, this is blue pea flower. That's in here. Gold luster dust. Slippery elm bark. I'm not sure what all this stuff does. But apparently this one's supposed to be good for throat coating a bit. Is my video all jittery? If so, it's because of my internet connection. I was telling you about this earlier, Sarah.
Well, I thought it was my internet connection, but you've locked up a couple times.
Yep. It's my internet connection. Now it's back to it. Now it's back to normal.
Wow.
Woo.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, guys, go check it out. fridaytea.com. I like this. This is tasty. It's supposed to increase circulation. Smut tea, yes.
Cayenne pepper will do that too.
Oh, will it?
Yeah.
Spicy.
It's like if somebody's having a heart attack, it's like that, and you have nothing else on hand.
Just dumped cayenne pepper on their face.
Well, no, make them drink like a glass of it if you can get it down, like water with cayenne.
Okay. Well, everyone take note. Stuff cayenne pepper into a person's nose if they are having a heart attack.
Not the nose.
So anyway, today is our last cold read for Zero Recall. For those of you who haven't been to the rest of the cold reads for Zero Recall, welcome. You're probably not going to know what the hell's going on, but that's all right because it's still going to be entertaining. We are starting on chapter... I need to open it up.
I think it's chapter 11.
Oh, why are my eyes so sticky? This is not
chapter
cool.
11.
Chapter 11. You're right. That is correct. We are starting on chapter 11, and we just got let's see, what's his name? Mr. Snaky Snake.
Daviin.
Daviin. Yes,
yeah.
Daviin. He just basically became blood brothers with Joe.
Well, he swore to him as a sentinel. The whole blood brother thing, that was just like a facade to make people not realize what had actually happened.
What, really? Oh,
yeah.
When he was saying that. I see.
When he said blood brothers, yeah.
But he did the blood brother, like, that's how you do blood brother stuff, right?
Yeah, but it meant a lot to him.
Are you saying blood brothers don't mean a lot?
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what it sounds like. How dare you? 8-year-old boys around the world are appalled.
Ugh. Do they actually do that?
I don't know. Probably not anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
You wrote it.
I can neither confirm nor deny. Okay.
Yes, Vin English gets it. Increase circulation and lube your throat. That's correct. Smut tea. That's what that's for. Thank you for pointing that out. Look at how jerky. Oh, that's so annoying to me. I can't. I'm paying for 2 terabytes download and upload, and it shouldn't be this way. Anyway,
Hey, Tristan.
I gotta wake up at like super early tomorrow so that Google Fiber can come out and fix it. So at least it's gonna get fixed. Tristan's here. Vin English is here. Ben Milford is here. Kyle is here. Anyone else who is here, please say hi in the chat and I will say hi back. Please go search out anyone who you know has been waiting for this and tell them we're ready to get started on chapter 11. And yeah, I'm anxious to see what happens next.
So are you going to be doing like the rest on like live on Discord and then just not recording it and leaving
Yes.
it on?
Yes.
Okay.
So that yeah, I will continue to narrate this live on Discord. If you check the description of the video right now, you will be able to find the link to our Discord channel, our Discord server. And you'll find me in Jeff's booth. If you get the right notification, if you get the right role, which is notification squad, you will be notified when I'm jumping in there. I'm not going to be planning those ahead. It's just you know, just need to watch out for when it comes up. That's the reason why that's one of the reasons why I don't continue to do the cold reads, because I can't really afford to keep this tight of a schedule on the entirety of the narration. There's plenty of other things I have to do during the week that sometimes fuck up my narration schedule, and I honestly need to be able to fuck up my narration schedule sometimes. So just watch out for that.
So nice to like be able to drop in and listen. It's like it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Tristan, are you asking if I'm Italian? Or
who are you asking, Tristan? It's insensitive.
And dear
I'm just gonna say that for fun.
Like no.
What's wrong with being Italian?
Well, the one before that, he said I sound like his girlfriend, but like I was thinking I sound like my sister, and I'd never actually like listened to myself on like recording before. So I was like, I don't even know.
Yeah, you were right, Tristan. That's who he meant, you.
I am not Italian. I am a mongrel, but definitely not Italian. More like German, that sort. Okay.
We're both mongrels. It's cool. All right, so here goes chapter 11. And yeah, subscribe, like, check out all the links in the description. Go pick up The Moldy Dead from soundbooththeater.com. Go pick up Forging Zero from Audible. And here goes chapter 11. Daviin learns to lie. Joe stared at Daviin. Instead of laughing, the human just said... Wait, instead of laughing, sorry. Did not. Instead of laughing, the human just said, Why? Why? There is a prophecy. Joe interrupted him with a foreign curse. Hold on. I need to find out what was going on beforehand, because now I'm confused. You don't understand. He's at the top of the lists, even now. He's killed more targets than any other assassin living. Okay, so far Jer'ait has been telling Joe that his name is like Rumpelstiltskin or something that's not his real name. And Daviin tells Joe at the very end, oh no, dude, this is Jer'ait. Yes. I know this is Jer'ait because we were trained to recognize his voice.
Yeah, and the only reason that he would be here, like, is if he has some reason to target you, because there's no other reason for him to
Right.
not.
So
Yeah.
Joe, that's why Joe asks why.
Right.
Okay.
Why? There is a prophecy.
Joe interrupted him with a foreign curse. Excuse me.
Will that follow me to my grave? Who told you? Maggie?
Oh, I see. He's thinking he's talking about his own prophecy.
Precisely. So he just, like, yeah, gave something away.
Will that follow me to my grave? Who told you? Maggie?
Daviin hesitated, cocking his head at his ward, trying to judge how to proceed. Then he said,
You know of it. It's soot. Of it? It's soot.
excuse me, he needs to say it viciously.
Know of it. Know of it. It's soot.
There we go.
Joe said viciously, I told Nalene to go to hell, and we won Kofat back despite what the little gray slimeball tried to tell me. It's crap. You mention it again and I'll order you to go... It's crap. You mention it again and I'll order you to go suck Dash a dick. Get me?
Daviin flinched.
I was talking about the Valen. You mean you've had other things prophesized about you, Joe?
Joe blinked. He looked like Daviin had knocked the wind out of him. Hastily, Daviin said,
Every once in a while, maybe once in 1,000 turns, a black Dreet will be born. These Dreet are different from the rest. They refuse to fight, and they...
What the hell are you talking about? The human looked confused.
Only other Dreet know about the Black One. But since she spoke of you, I suppose you have the right to know. They see the future, human. They read thoughts.
The human's face grew angry.
You mean you breed Trith? What are Trith? What are Trith?
Instead of answering, Joe said,
What did she say about me? What did she say about me?
He sounded resigned, angry. Daviin analyzed Joe's reaction, then lowered his face. I was going to say face. Daviin analyzed Joe's reaction, then lowered his voice.
When they're born, the Black Ones are taken into seclusion, worshipped. It is the Black Ones who ordain the next clan leaders, as well as the representatives. It was a Black One that warned us of the
Ihi? Right?
Ihi, yeah.
As well as the representatives. It is the Black Ones. As well as the representatives. It was a Black One that warned us of the Ihi thousands of turns before we expanded into space.
Joe gave him a suspicious look.
Warned you? From what I've seen of the Ihi, they wouldn't hurt a Tacky. Exactly. Don't you wonder why we assign 4 times as many warriors to defending their representatives? Don't you wonder why we assign 4 times as many warriors to defending their representatives than we give Alifai? Don't you wonder why we assign 4 times as many warriors to defending their representatives than we give Alifai himself? It is because the Black Ones say they will one day need us, and if we are not there to save them, the Dreet will be annihilated to the last.
Why? The human was obviously confused, not understanding what it had to do with him. Daviin shrugged.
The seers don't tell us why. They simply tell us that we must do. They simply tell us what we must do to prevent it.
So, this black one said something about me and you're gonna mindlessly hold it against me just like...
No, that's not the way of it. They never predict the future. Only a fool does that. They offer us choices. Before I left the Sentinels, I asked the Black One what path I should take to earn a place in my people's history. She said to go to A's, that my path... She said to go to A's, that my path there would lead me to one who could help me.
And you think that's me? And you think that's me?
And you do not?
Look at me, you son of a bitch. I'm a grounder. I've been prime for most of my life, and I've got no hopes for climbing the ranks. Ever.
No
I've got
hopes
an
of?
over-
Say again?
No hopes of?
And I've got no hopes for I've been prime for most of my life, and I've got no hopes of climbing. I've been prime for most of my life, and I've got no hopes of climbing the ranks. Ever. I've got an overseer who hates my guts and does her damnedest to get me executed. I don't have power. I don't have money, and you can break every bone in my body by flicking your pinky. I don't have power. I don't have power. I don't have money, and you can break every bone in my body by flicking your pinky. I can't get you anything you can't get by yourself.
Daviin felt himself liking this human. He was growing more confident in his decision by the tick.
It's you. I know it.
Then you're stupider than I thought.
She said, if I chose the path to A's, I would come across a great and unstoppable foe, an opponent worthy of a great heir. Heir.
That's not me.
Obviously. She said that I will one day hold his fate in my hands, and my ward will help me give him the sentence he deserves. Depending on what I decide that day, I will kill the one who would shatter Congress, or I will discover what it means to be forgotten.
Aha.
Dun dun dun!
The human's head jerked up sharply.
What? So I ask you, human, what is this other prophecy that makes you able to help me stop an unstoppable foe who would destroy Congress without our intervention?
Fuck.
So I ask you, human, what is this other prophecy that makes you able to help me stop an unstoppable foe who would destroy Congress without our intervention?
To Daviin's surprise, the human lunged at him, grabbing him by the sensitive ear crest and tearing him down until they were eye to eye.
Let's get one thing straight.
Joe said, his oily face ninths from Daviin's snout.
If I believed in prophecies, I wouldn't be breathing today. I despise them and everyone who believes in them, and the fastest way to piss me off is to say I'm destined to do something. I've had burning enough of that. I hear one more word about a prophecy out of you, and you won't have to wait for some unstoppable foe. I'll kill you myself.
I can see why the seers like you,
Daviin said, grinning. He nodded as much as the human's grip would allow, pleased. The human released him and backed up, glaring.
You're lucky I didn't bring my gun.
One thing I should warn you. The Sentinels don't take it kindly when their wards kill one One thing I should warn you. The Sentinels don't take it kindly when their wards kill one sworn to protect them. If you do kill me, at least have the sense to make it look like an accident. If you don't, and the Sentinels catch you, which they will, you're going to wish yourself dead long before they get around to killing you. You're going to wish yourself dead long before they get around to letting you kill yourself. You're going to wish yourself dead long before they get around to letting you kill yourself.
Letting me kill myself. The human gave him a dubious look.
Yes, more shame in it that way, and they'll do it all without spilling a drop of your blood.
Classy.
Very. It's impressive when you see it in action.
So I take it it's a common problem.
Only amongst conniving politicians who would kill their own clanmates if it meant their own personal gain.
Hey, Gray.
Gain.
Daviin grinned down at the human.
I'm not too worried about you.
You should be. You should be, the human growled.
I can break every bone in your body with my pinky.
He held it up for the human's clarification. His commander looked at the crimson digit that was as thick as his bony human arm and grunted. Speaking of that, not to alarm you, considering you're my new sentinel and all, but I'm rapidly losing the ability to stand up straight. As if to illustrate, he began to blink rapidly and weave on his feet, catching himself on the wall of the alleyway and peered. Probably need to add a he. Catching himself, or he, alleyway, comma, he peered, right?
Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. I had to look at something else. Hold on. Yeah, comma, he peered.
Yep. Omit and.
Yep.
Catching himself on the wall of the alleyway, he peered much too intently at the buildings across the road.
Funny human.
Yeah, I'd think so too. If I wasn't all of a sudden feeling like someone was trying to shove a baseball bat through my ear. The human kept blinking. I'm thinking maybe using my head to splinter that chair wasn't such a great idea back there. Daviin glanced down the road, judging the distance to the barracks.
Can you walk?
Joe peered up at him suspiciously. Or what? Be carried? Of course I can walk. The human straightened, took a step, then his eyes rolled up into the back of his head, and he slumped forward like a wad of wet rags. Daviin caught him before he slammed face first into the packed gravel. Daviin caught him before he slammed face first into the packed gravel. Hold on a second, guys. I gotta wash my eyeball. It's burning for no reason.
It's the butterfly pea flowers. That's what makes the blue tea blue.
Yeah, it's purple.
I wonder, it might be it has like hibiscus or something that makes it purple.
I wonder if you have hibiscus or something that makes you purple.
I don't know if I'm purple, but I have hibiscus.
All right, I think I'm all right. I'm okay. Nobody panic.
All right, back at it. Daviin caught him before he slammed face first into the packed gravel.
Such delicate creatures.
Daviin murmured. He threw the human under one arm and made his way back to the barracks, ignoring the stares he received along the way. Daviin let himself into Joe's room and dropped him on the bed. He had just administered the nanos when he heard a voice at the door. So our good commander resisted your charms again? Charms again? Try that one more time. So, our good commander resisted your charms again? Daviin stiffened and twisted. Jer'ait stood in the doorway, leaning casually against the frame. His features sharpened when Daviin turned to face him. What happened to your plan, Jer'ait? Daviin immediately clasped...
Palm, not plan.
Oh. What happened to your palm, Jer'ait? Daviin immediately clasped his bloody fist shut.
I was in a fight.
Oh? The Huouyt asked, amused. And where was the dosha? Daviin frowned.
What?
Lazily, Jer'ait left the doorway and walked over to him. He took Daviin's palm, and when Daviin tried to flinch away, Daviin felt a tiny sting as the Huouyt injected a poison under the... Daviin felt a tiny sting as the Huouyt injected a poison under the skin of his arm. Fear warred with anger as he suddenly found himself helpless to resist as the Huouyt casually opened his palm and peered down at his cut with his unnatural, bicolored eyes.
He drugged me,
Daviin thought, enraged.
I, a sentinel. I, a sentinel, allowed a Vagan to drug me.
The shame was overwhelming. Ah, Jer'ait said, as he examined his palm. So my eyes did not deceive me. There are only two things that can cut through scales like this: a dotcher's claws and a ceremonial ovi knife. Jer'ait dropped Daviin's hand and looked up at him. Smugness. Jer'ait dropped Daviin's hand and looked up at him. Smugness stretched across his downy alien features. We both know what an ovi is used for, and we both know there isn't a single dosha on Jilsit. Did you really want to be on the team that badly, Jer'ait? Which politician did you swear to get the assignment? Daviin said nothing, seething. It was everything he could do just to squeeze his fingers back together and hide the wound. The Huouyt could kill him at will, and both of them knew it. You can speak, you know, Jer'ait said, obviously amused. The poison does not inhibit linguistic capabilities. Daviin merely watched him. Jer'ait sighed. Very well. He calmly touched Daviin once more, freeing him. Daviin slammed his fist into the side of the Huoyt's head, knocking him to the floor.
I should make you dance on my tech, Huouyt.
Slowly, the assassin picked himself up. He had an open cut from one of Daviin's claws, but it mended as Daviin watched him. You know, I have killed for much less.
As have I. As have I.
Much less.
As have I.
Daviin snapped. Jer'ait cocked his craionate penis head at Daviin.
I think it's very visual.
Yep. Fair enough. Fair enough. Where'd you get the cut? Daviin begged forgiveness from the Ahi, then lied.
There's another Jer'ait on Jilsit. Huouyt. He and I had an argument.
The Huouyt watched him. Then slowly his eyes moved to Joe. And the human?
Tried to separate us.
The Huouyt cocked his head. You escaped. So somehow you must have killed this Huouyt. Shall I check the report?
I didn't kill him, but go ahead.
Jer'ait went to the wall and scanned the files he found there. Slowly he turned back, a look of confusion on his face. Huh. I thought...
It was a Fergish idea. It was a Fergish idea,
Daviin snapped.
For you to suggest I would ever take a ward to get on this Tacky's ground team. It makes it harder and harder for me to find reasons not to kill you.
Jer'ait gave him an amused look and bowed. Then I shall not push my luck. He cast one look at the human and departed. When he reached the door, however, he stopped and turned back. Just out of curiosity, he didn't let you back on the team, did he?
No, Joe groaned from his bed. Get the Asher out of here.
Jer'ait gave the human an amused glance. I think I'll leave that task to someone more capable than myself, Commander. Good to see you did not crack like a peaty shell to his whining.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can barely hear. And so if I miss something from here on, the dogs are freaking out in the background. Sorry. They're bad.
It's okay. Daviin stiffened, but the Huouyt turned and left. Daviin immediately went to the door and locked it behind him.
So, Joe said, sitting up. I thought Jer'ait did not lie, Daviin.
I'm sure I will burn in several layers of hell for it. But you gave me an order not to let others know. I hope it was worth it for you, human.
It was. Answer something for me, Daviin. It was. Answer something for me, Daviin.
What?
Why did Jer'ait drop it? Did you kill a Huouyt in between shattering my spine and swearing fealty to me?
We had an argument,
Daviin admitted reluctantly.
Broke a few houses. We had an argument,
Daviin admitted reluctantly.
Fealty to me?
We had
to me?
We broke a... of few houses.
And you won?
Of course I won.
You won?
Of course I won. It was a Huouyt. Of course I won. It was a Huouyt.
But you didn't kill him.
The human sounded intrigued. He did not have sentinel training. It was not a contest.
You let him live.
If it can be called that. The poor little Ferg will go home in disgrace. One of his older brothers will probably come for me later to reap vengeance from my hide. Him I'll have to kill.
Live.
If it can be called that, I'll have to kill.
Joe rubbed the sides of his head with his soft fingertips.
Damn Jer'ait vendettas. Why'd you start the fight in the first place if you knew it wasn't a contest?
I didn't. The little Huouyt Ferg attacked me on my way to find you.
Joe peered at him.
Is this going to be a common thing?
Depends. There are 5 other Jer'ait on Jilsit, all Huouyt. They will attack me on sight, and I them. Congress knows this, so they tried to put us in different staging areas. The Huouyt was on leave with his ground team when he saw me.
So why don't they just post your locations so you can avoid each other?
Daviin stared at the human, wondering if he was simple.
That would give us the obligation to seek each other out. They hide it from us intentionally.
Ghosts. 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 How do you guys survive as a species? How do you guys survive as a species?
It is hard. Mortality rates are high, especially amongst youngsters. We gain 1, maybe 2,000 a turn. That was before A's.
1 or 2,000? One or 2,000? For your whole species? 1 or 2,000? For your whole species?
A Jer'ait's life is hard, at least up until you get to be my age.
The human peered up at him.
And just how old are you?
Almost 1,000 now.
His ward whistled.
I thought you were a little bigger. I thought you were a little bigger than normal. I thought you were a little bigger than... I thought you were a little bigger than normal. I thought you were a little bigger than normal.
Not at all. We have histories of normal Jer'ait reaching up to 63 rods. The black ones often get bigger.
The human's eyes widened.
Ghosts of the mothers. I'm not even a rod. I'm like 2/3 of a rod, Daviin. I thought you were...
Almost 1,000 now.
And just how 1 or 2,000? Ghosts.
That was a curse, not a thing he was saying.
Ghosts? How do you go?
What was that?
Yeah, it should be a curse.
Yeah.
2/3 of a rod, Daviin.
You're a weakling.
He said it. He said it in all honesty, but the human narrowed his eyes.
63. That's what? 9 of you?
63.
I'm sorry. I think he said he was 63 rod. Like the big guy was 63 rods. And then I'm sorry. I'm so
Oh, I
distracted.
see. I see. That's like, what, 9 of you? Okay, for some reason I was thinking, wait, 63 rods is what he is? No, that's not right. Never mind.
Yeah.
One sec. I gotta go turn something off.
I think I finally got them to shut up, though. This is nice.
Do you, feed him, some kittens or something?
No, they just got lazy and bored, so they stopped barking. But like I literally couldn't even hear myself think, and then they were completely drowning out everything you said. So I was losing my place and everything. I couldn't hear anything. It's horrible.
That's what? 9 of you? 63. 63. That's what? 9 of you?
Approximately,
Daviin said, shrugging.
the breeders grow very large once they swear off war and give up their techs. But nobody really counts them because they're forbidden to fight. Warrior-wise, I am about half the length of the biggest recorded Jer'ait with a tech. The AZ representative, Prazel. The AZ representative, Prazel, may he endure every level of the coldest hells, is very close to 13 rods.
Huge.
To a human.
The human sighed and stood.
We might as well come up with a convincing way for you to crack my stubborn PG shell.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like that.
We might as well come up with a convincing way for you to crack my stubborn PG shell.
There we go. Two, three.
Yay, we're back to Forgotten, I think.
Back to Forgotten. Yep.
Are you sure, Goiji? The last time a Jer'ait decided to sentinel a non-representative, it was the age of the Jehool.
Okay, so...
The Jer'ait will do it,
Forgotten replied.
It will be the only way he can change the human's mind and therefore rejoin the team.
Alright, and let's go grab that.
I love your stoner human. That was fucking awesome.
I need to go grab that that little static sound.
Everyone remember to hit like.
Yes, please do that. I agree. Here it is. Copy.
It always like helps with the algorithm and stuff.
It does indeed. Sarah, Annie's asking from. Well, wait, never mind. I don't need to do that. Just look it up here. Annie's gonna email you here pretty soon.
Is she starting?
Soon?
Wow, cool.
Okay. No, are you kidding me? Damn it. I went and copied that, Oh, I know what happened. God damn it.
God, you
What?
are having one of those days.
I am having one of those fucking days, everybody. Ugh. Very sorry, y'all. While I go get this, I'll just tell you guys about something that was exciting to me and only me today. I got the gallery edition of Barry Windsor Smith's Weapon X today. I had it on pre-order. Really excited about it. Super
Is that
oversized.
like a comic book?
Yes. So, Weapon X, for anyone who doesn't know, is what basically it's basically Wolverine's origin story, like how he got his adamantium.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and like Barry Windsor Smith is the first guy to like fuck with that, to fuck with the origin story, and it was a huge deal when he brought those comics out in the 80s. No, it was early 90s. In the early 90s. It was part of Marvel Comics Presents. And because Barry Windsor Smith had released his masterpiece Monsters last year, now he's like back in the news. He's back, like all the publishers that ever published him are now like trying to figure out things to reprint for him. And so, yeah, I got the oversized. It's like this big. It's huge.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Totally jealous.
Yeah, I knew you would be.
Oh, fuck it. My dad, he had the original, the first Spider-Man. Like the very first one, and then
Like Spider-Man #1 or Amazing Fantasy number whatever.
I think it was Spider-Man #1, and like 1 through 15 or 1 through 20 or something. And then
Wow.
while he was at college, his
Mom threw him away.
Yeah.
Always the story, dude. Moms, you're all assholes. All of you moms.
Yeah. Well, she
Don't
didn't
throw away comic books, moms. At least nothing from like the 60s and the 50s and the 40s and the 30s.
Yeah, no shit. Wow.
Don't do it. Because those are worth thousands a piece now.
My God, I think like at least 1,000.
Yep. All right, let's see here.
The Jehool. The Jer'ait will do it, Forgotten replied.
It will be the only way he can change the human's mind and therefore rejoin the team.
Oh my God, I
love
fucking
the
love
team.
that, dude.
We need a Jer'ait, Rejon argued, visibly losing his composure And you are betting everything he will swear himself to an inconsequential alien grounder. I would not call him inconsequential. Forgotten took a fraction of a nanosecond to monitor Suri's life signs to make sure the poor Jahul wasn't suffocating.
So Siri is like a major character in the rest of the series, so like you might want to go over that again and make sure it's like one that you're willing to say again and again and again.
Suri? Forgotten took a fraction of a nanosecond to monitor Suri's life signs. I mean, I think I could say that better, but is that a good pronunciation for you, Suri?
Yes, Yuri, yeah.
Forgotten took a fraction of a nanosecond to monitor Suri's life signs to make sure the poor Jahul wasn't suffocating. And if you're wrong, Rejon snapped. I tire of that question, Huouyt, Forgotten said, deciding that the trapped Jahul was highly upset, but not dying. Until some part of my plan fails, please try to refrain from asking it. Don't be flippant with me, Goiji. I decide whether you will ever see your people alive again. Don't be flippant with me, Goiji. I decide whether you will ever see your people alive again.
Perfect delivery on that. That was great.
Thank you. I'm aware of your inclinations to that effect. Yes, but do you really understand? Rejon watched him. No, I don't think you do. He reached for the comm unit attached to his cloth of silver cape. Cloth of silver cape. He reached for the comm unit attached to his cloth of silver cape. Don't! Forgotten said. I know what you're going to do, Rejon. You have no need to prove it to me. Oh, I think I do. Rejon activated the unit. Chavai or Shavai?
It's not important.
Chavai, kill one of the Goiji. The oldest. Forgotten felt a flood of anger at Rejon's words. It had been so easy. So easy for the Huouyt to give the order to end the greatest mind in the known universe. Such petty ignorance sickened him to the core. Forcing himself to keep his voice in check, Forgotten said, You didn't have to do that. You needed to fully understand who is in charge here, Goiji, Rejon said. Now you do. Believe me, Rejon. I understand who's in charge. Rejon, what did I call him? Believe me, Rejon. Yeah, good. Rejon scanned Forgotten again, then once more activated his comm unit. Kill another one. The youngest. Stop! Forgotten snapped. have my attention! Stop! I'm not as stupid as you believe. My species is known for its intelligence.
Your species is known for its conscious cruelty.
Rejon tapped the comm unit. You should learn to think before you speak, Goiji. It would serve your people well in the future. Then he cocked his head, enlightenment suddenly crossing his face. Unless you are thinking about what you're saying and are intentionally provoking me. Now, why would you want to do that, Forgotten? I was under the impression we'd agreed upon a mutually beneficial business arrangement.
We have an arrangement, Forgotten said. It's you who's breaking the terms of that contract.
The terms of the contract are that I free your people once gaining the tribunal. The terms of the contract are that I free your people once gaining the tribunal.
Right.
Rejon replied coolly. It says nothing about killing them to discipline you.
You are treading dangerous ground, Rejon. You are treading dangerous ground, Rejon.
Forgotten said, feeling himself despise the creature sharing air with him. Maybe despising? I actually tried to correct that on the fly, but maybe despising is right. Forgotten said, feeling himself despising the creature sharing air with him. Not really. I don't stand to lose anything if we fail. He tapped the comm unit again. Tell me more about this plan of yours. Why do we sick my esteemed brother on this human?
How else would I get the top assassin in the universe to join a common ground team for the purpose of killing Dasha?
Rejon pointed the comm unit at Forgotten. Excellent point. But that leaves another question. Vagans do not allow themselves to be put under anesthesia. Vagans do not allow themselves to be put under anesthesia in any way. Just how do you plan on making Jer'ait get a grounder's chip?
I won't. The human will.
Rejon snorted. How? He obviously thought it was impossible. With his winning personality.
Where'd that go? There it is.
Rejon tapped the comm unit against his cilia-covered cheek, then said, "Excuse me. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume you meant that literally."
Thank you.
With his... literally.
Thank you.
That freaking hiccup, man.
They're very functional. I feel very comfortable about where I place them now.
So, tell me, why do you put so much faith in this human?
He's like me,
Forgotten said.
Rejon laughed.
Oh, an immobile blob of mucus? Forgotten ignored the insult.
He's what's called a vortex. The Trith cannot see his future, so they attempt to make it for him. He's fought them every step of the way.
Oh my god, that was glorious.
And how does this remind you of you?
The last Trith that visited me, I killed and ejected into space.
That wiped the smirk off of Rejon's face. You've killed a Trith?
So there's a like, I don't know if you ever want to use this, but there's another species that is really creepy, that if you ever have, like, you know, parts like that where it's like the last Trith that it visited me, I ejected into space, it would almost be like this whispery, like creepy Hannibal Lecter type. I don't know if that would make, but they're like, here we go again. Oh god. Can you hear that? But yeah, shit. I'm not gonna. Okay, I'll just turn off the mic. I can't.
Okay, so what's this species? You want a creepier voice for that? That's what you're saying.
I'm just saying that there's like another one out there that's gonna be very like airy and almost like animalistic, but like almost like Hannibal Lecter in mindset, but just killing machines that are like, I don't know, like a ghost almost, like
Gotcha.
I don't know if that's
what's the last Trith that visited.
Yeah, so that's Dasha is what I'm going for there. But if you want, I can go for a more creepy, ghosty one.
It just made me think of it. That's all.
Okay. And we'll leave it be. But I may use that in the future. I think it's a little too soon for that at this point.
Killed a Trith? You've killed a Trith?
Several of them. It took them a while to realize why their fellows were going missing.
Rejon looked more subdued than usual. And this human, he could also kill a Trith?
Yes, and he probably will, if he's ever visited again. I think they learned their lesson from me, though. They'll visit those around him, try to alter his path that way. A much safer alternative, especially now when they see our paths have crossed.
Freaking awesome. Like over here, like I wanted to interrupt you. I'm like, oh my god, that's so awesome, but you were still going to.
That will cause them no end of anxiety, which pleases me very much.
Rejon's eyes glittered. I assume it would. So tell me, Goiji, you've put together this perfect team, going to elaborate lengths to get just the right members, yet you continue to act as if the results of your little experiment are uncertain. What makes you think the dosha will give your brainchild any problems?
That's simple,
Forgotten said.
The dosha will be expecting them.
All right, that's a chapter. Done with 11. Let's see. Relatively
That was
short
really
chapter.
good. That was really, really, really good. And there were so many times I wanted to like interrupt you. I'm like, oh my god, that was so good. But then I was like, nope, gotta keep going.
All right, here goes chapter 12. To chip or not to chip? Gonna get some more tea. All right. Sorry guys, just gotta upload something for Dungeon Crawler Carl. Ready for another set of polishing. There we go. Boom. By the way, guys, it's been about an hour. Just want to remind you all that you can find a bunch of cool links in the description of this video where you'll be able to find our Discord server, our website, our app where you can start listening to our stuff that's exclusive to our platform. You can find a link to Forging Zero, book 1 of this series, or a link to the short story that we just brought out for this series called The Moldy Dead for only $2. Oh no, Naked HD XYZ. Yeah, just find all sorts of cool stuff that will get you more and more engaged with Sound Booth Theater and with Sara King. So please, if you are new to Sound Booth Theater Live, if you're new to cold reads, please give it a shot. Please just cruise those links in the description. Give us a like as well. Subscribe. You know, all the internet join things stuff. Do all of it. Just every single thing. You know. That's all I want.
That's very vague.
That's really all I'm asking for, is for you to do everything possible.
But definitely hit like.
At least that. Chapter 12. To chip or not to chip? You forced Daviin from our ground team. Jer'ait watched the human closely, wondering if he was a fool or something worse. It was amusing for a while, but you're actually serious, aren't you?
So that first Oh shit, my camera's on. That
Oh
first
shit.
line did yeah. That first line didn't sound like Jer'ait, I don't think.
Hold on. Well, I'd been doing Read John for so long that I was trying to like make it extra different.
Zero. You are one.
That's chapter 10.
I looked up at him. We both know what an OV is used for.
You forced Daviin from our ground team. It was amusing for a while, but you're actually serious, aren't you? It was amusing for a while, but you're actually serious, aren't you?
He didn't want to follow orders. He didn't want to follow orders, their prime told him dismissively.
Jer'ait gave his target a long look. Did you make this decision before or after he broke every bone in your body, Commander? A glimmer of irritation showed in the human's face.
The Jer'ait is out. No discussion.
Jer'ait glanced at the other 3 members of their team. The Baga sat in a corner, watching the human with unwavering curiosity. To Jer'ait's surprise, he had not only survived Joe's assault, but he seemed to find their prime's attack to be nothing out of the ordinary. Further, Jer'ait had heard the Baga actually use the word sir to the human earlier that day. Behind him, the Ureki was staring at the floor, trying desperately not to be noticed and therefore not to be called on to take sides. The Grecan seemed oblivious to or unconcerned with the conversation, or both. You expect the 5 of us to kill a Dosha prince, wading through possibly hundreds of his underlings to get to him, without a Jer'ait? Jer'ait finally demanded. The human's small brown eyes found him, and he gave him a grin.
Think of it as putting your skills to the test. Think of it as putting your skills to the test, Huouyt.
I think of it as suicide. They will not allow us to use explosives. That leaves hand-to-hand combat. Only a Jer'ait can kill a Dosha in a hand... Only a Jer'ait can kill a Dosha in hand-to-hand combat. Only a Jer'ait can kill a Dosha in hand-to-hand combat.
Then I suppose we'd all better pack up and go home, because there's only 6 Jer'ait on this whole planet.
Jer'ait stared at him. Only 6?
That's right. I checked. 6 Jer'ait against 134 Dosha princes, plus a carrier load of followers and young. If we're gonna win this thing, we're gonna have to come up with some brand new... If we're gonna win this thing, we're gonna have to come up with some brand new ideas, or we're all gonna die. If we're gonna win this thing, we're gonna have to come up with some brand new ideas, or we're all gonna die.
Fuck!
If we're gonna win this thing, we're gonna have to come up with some brand new ideas, or we're all gonna die.
You gave up one of the 6 Jer'ait on the entire planet because your You gave up one of the 6 Jer'ait on the entire planet because he bruised your pride. Jer'ait knew right then that the message was a Trith's cruel joke. As soon as this moron took them down the tunnels, they would all die.
He wouldn't follow orders, the human repeated.
He's sentinel trained! Let's try that again. Or not try it again. I just don't need the human repeated.
Orders.
He's sentinel trained!
Yeah, that was good.
There we go. He shouldn't follow the orders of a soft-skulled, tacky imbecile. Had Phoenix been in here... He's sentinel trained! He shouldn't follow the orders of a soft-skulled, tacky imbecile. Had Phoenix been in her right mind, Daviin would have led this group, not some weak, inebriated clown.
I'll give you the same choice I gave the Jer'ait,
the human said, his tone going as cold as a Vagan's. The human said, his tone going as cold as a Vagan's.
Follow orders, or I'll transfer you. Follow orders, or I'll transfer you.
You would go down the tunnels with 4.
Damn right I would. In a heartbeat.
From where he sat, Galek looked up nervously. From where he sat, Galek looked up nervously, but he said nothing. Jer'ait wondered if the human had destroyed brain cells with his sipping of toxins. The Jer'ait and I are your 2 best chances of killing something down there. If I leave you, you will have nothing.
If you leave, I'll have more than I started with.
It's if I leave, you will have
The
nothing.
If I leave you, you... Oh. If I leave, you will have nothing.
If you leave, I'll have more than I started with,
Commander Zero said. Jer'ait examined their leader and saw what the Jer'ait hadn't. The human was deadly serious. Jer'ait could almost admire him, the way he could meet the gaze of a Vaga assassin without flinching.
Very well.
Nope.
Very well. What do you want me to do?
Flea, get over here. Flea was an Earth name that the human had attached to the Baga the moment it returned from medical. The Baga had liked the sound of it, especially after Jer'ait had explained that The Baga had liked the sound of it, especially after Jer'ait had explained that a flea was a nuisance insect from Earth. Jer'ait wondered if the Baga was quite sane. The Baga dropped onto Joe's shoulder, his entire body about the size of Joe's head. If the human had any nervousness due to the proximity of the Baga's spitter, he did not show it.
Flea, you'll be working with Bashar. You 2 are on recon. Bashar, go to the morgue and start picking through the bodies. Grab whatever patterns you think you'll need.
Immediately, Jer'ait felt every one of his breja stiffen. Huouyt of my sect do not use patterns off of dead we did not kill ourselves.
That's right. Forgot some of you are superstitious about that.
I will find another source, Jer'ait replied, trying not to sound as irritated as he felt.
Good. Good. Flea, you're too damn colorful. I want you as black as a Drak.
Drak or Drak? Can't remember.
I don't actually remember. I think you've only used it like once or twice before. I can do it. Yeah, I don't know.
I want you as black as a Drak turd by the end of the day. You and the Huouyt will need to be in constant contact with each other, so you each get a chip. I'm told you already got yours, so that leaves... I'm told you already got yours, so that just leaves Bashar.
Jer'ait stiffened. I told you, Vogons do not undergo operations of any kind.
You do now, the human said brusquely. Galek, you and I will be the middlemen. It'll be our job to protect Scarab from whatever they throw at us. He's our lifeline. The only thing getting us out of there should something... The only thing getting us out of there should something go wrong. He won't be doing any fighting.
Scarab was another nickname, one the human had given after trying to pronounce the Grecon's name 3 times and failing. Though he usually detested monikers, Jer'ait had to admit that it was easier, and the Grecon didn't seem to mind. As a matter of fact, the Grecon didn't seem to mind anything. Though it was fully equipped with an artificial voice box and a chip, it hadn't said more than its name since it had been introduced. Jer'ait's breja rippled across his body in waves as he listened to the human outline their plan. It didn't sound like a bad plan, except for the fact he expected Jer'ait to submit to an Ureki scalpel. Finally, he could stay silent no more. Huouyt of my profession do not allow themselves to go under another's knife, not for any reason. I will do without. The human's face darkened.
Flea, Galek, Scarab, go get some dinner.
The Ureki and the Grecon were happy to oblige. The Baga was more reluctant, giving Jer'ait a curious look before the prince's scowl sent him hurrying out after the other two.
Primes, not princes.
Primes, got it. The Baga was more reluctant, giving Jer'ait a curious look before the Prime's scowl sent him hurrying out after the other two. Joe went to the door and shut it. When he turned, he crossed his arms and said, "Why?" Jer'ait watched the human a moment, considering whether to reply. "The gases and medicines they use. In training, Vagons are overexposed to every substance that could be used against us in the field to give us a greater resistance. Therefore, Vaga-trained Huouyt do not allow another to introduce foreign... Therefore, Vaga-trained Huouyt do not allow another to introduce foreign chemicals into their bodies. Therefore, Vaga-trained Huouyt do not allow another to introduce... Therefore, Vaga-trained Huouyt do not allow another to introduce foreign chemicals into their bodies."
So it's a pride thing.
Jer'ait almost left right there, but he forced himself to endure the conversation, if only for the sake of his mission. "No. That same resistance makes it extremely hard to put us into any sort of chemical-induced state without giving us a lethal overdose. It's a very effective safeguard against enemy interrogation. Ureki doctors may be able to accurately estimate the capacities of their other victims, but I guarantee you they cannot estimate mine."
A medical patient is hardly a victim.
"Anyone allowing an intoxicating substance to enter their bodies is a victim." The human's face wrinkled.
That's an interesting way of looking at it.
"It is the basis of our training."
You're no good to us without a chip, Bashar.
Jer'ait felt his irritation rising. "Even in groups, Huouyt work alone. My plan ops teams would usually go out by ourselves and meet afterwards in a certain place to discuss what we had learned. If it would make you feel better, we could take a look at the maps of the tunnels and choose 6 meeting times and places. I will be there. You can count on it."
The human gave him a flat look. "You're not going down there without a way to communicate with us."
Planops signs are universal amongst all its member species. Planops signs are universal amongst all its member species. I could leave them behind for you to find.
When you were with other Huouyt on your old Planops ground team, what would you do when one of you got injured?
Jer'ait said nothing. He watched the human closely, wondering why he continued to push the matter when most would have got... Excuse me. He watched the human closely, wondering why he continued to push the matter when most would have long since stood down and agreed to his compromise.
Because I know for a fact you did not allow each other to bleed to death.
Why do you push it, human?
Why? You said it yourself. Planops uses universal signs. Yesterday I chatted with an Ureki Prime who told me those signs haven't changed in 6 millennia. As soon as I found that out, I almost ashing crapped myself. All we'd need would be one tacky down there who'd been trained to read signs, and we'd all be toast.
Jer'ait studied the human. Sober, he almost seemed intelligent. There is very little chance anyone has ever trained tacky in Planops protocol.
You want to bet your life on that, Huouyt? They told me this Dasha Valen is over 1,000 turns old. That's an awful long time to pick up Planops symbols, even if he wasn't in the military, which I'm pretty burning sure he was.
Why's that? The human gave him a long look, then stalked over to the table and switched on the satellite map.
Mark, Neskvat. Random. 15 ground units.
The map that appeared showed several areas cleared of vegetation surrounding the black pits of a collapsed den entrance.
See anything?
The human asked, watching his face. Jer'ait didn't. He peered closer, however, not about to allow a human to best him at something as basic to his trade. He peered closer, however, not about to allow a human to best him at something as basic to his trade as observational skills. His eyes caught on the darkened patch in the forest, and he frowned. Mark, remove foliage. The screen shifted. I've been ruined by a meme. Every time I see the name Mark, I automatically hear, "Oh, hi, Mark," in my head. So. Remove foliage. Oh, hi, Mark. Remove foliage. Mark, remove foliage. The screen shifted, leaving only the black pits on 3-dimensional brown terrain. Every hill, every high point of land had a pit. Open pits. The area around the pits on the hills, however, were not cleared in the typical... The area around the pits on the hills, however, were not cleared in the typical Dasha manner. They were completely hidden by trees. Jer'ait could even see the rainbow smudges of several Dasha sitting in the entrances to the tunnels, waiting. The entrances themselves wove an octagonal pattern across the surface of the planet, the sight of which made Jer'ait's breja tremble in waves across his skin. That is unnatural, Jer'ait whispered.
That is smart. The whole planet's like that. If the Valen isn't intimately aware of battle tactics, our battle tactics, I'm a purple-pelted tacky.
Our grounders are going to get slaughtered. Jer'ait glanced up, studying the human. "Did you see this, or were you briefed?" The human gave him a flat look.
"It may be hard to imagine, but I do have the mental capacity to notice a pattern. Every visible deep den entrance on Neskvat is on low ground. Every hidden entrance is on high ground. On every other Dasha planet I've ever seen, the entrances are wherever the hell the Dasha happened to sit down."
So the inflection was like odd on that one. On every hidden entrance, that one.
Every visible deep den, every hidden entrance is on high ground.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Every hidden entrance is on high ground. On every other, on low ground. Every hidden entrance is on high ground. On every other Dasha planet I've ever seen, the entrances are wherever the hell the Dasha happened to sit down.
The human was telling the truth. That he had caught this. Jer'ait began to wonder if indeed the prophecy was true. "Did you tell headquarters of this?"
Do I look stupid to you? Space Corps is out there now, bombing the hell out of them.
Jer'ait glanced back at the maps. For a long time, he said nothing, merely scanned the honeycomb pattern of Dasha tunnels industrious Tacky had dug within half a turn. "We would never have these problems if we could simply find a way to destroy the Tacky."
No, they'd find someone else. Ureki, Hueshi, Huouyt, humans. About the only ones who wouldn't bow to them would be the Jer'ait.
Jer'ait glanced back at the human, instinctively ready to object, but gave a tired nod instead and recited, "Under a Dasha's claws, even a boulder crumbles." "We can't all be Jer'ait."
Thank God.
"All be Jer'ait."
Thank God.
The human let out his breath slowly. Reluctantly, Jer'ait said, "We have a companion. Stand watch." The human twitched, frowning. Softly, Jer'ait continued. "Throughout the procedure, he observes and makes sure the doctors only use the chemicals that we have prescribed for ourselves before we go under. Should the doctor make a mistake, should he use the wrong chemicals or dosage, the companion is sworn to slay all who participated, right down to the lowliest assistant." I want to try this again. We have a companion. Stand watch." Reluctantly, Jer'ait said, "We have a companion. Stand watch." The human twitched. Throughout the procedure, he observes and makes sure the doctors only use the chemicals that we've prescribed for ourselves before we go under. Should the doctor make a mistake, should he use the wrong chemicals or dosage? Should the doctor make a mistake, should he use the wrong chemicals or dosage, the companion is sworn to slay all who participated, right down to the lowliest assistant.
How often does that happen?
Jer'ait glanced up, scanning his face. Often. Huouyt have a weakness to chemicals. Our constitutions are never constant, as with other species. One day a dose might not be enough to achieve the desired effect, whereas on another day, half that dose would kill us. Even our self-prescriptions are mostly guesswork. Even our self-prescriptions are mostly guesswork. The human grunted. Let's just get rid of that one. Mostly guesswork.
I always wondered why they never let us drug enemy Huouyt. Thought it was a stupid bureaucratic thing.
It's so that you don't kill them. Jer'ait let out the fact that, as an 11th Hajai with his particular
idiosyncrasy. There were plenty of parties out there who would try to take advantage of his helplessness. The human watched him for some time. Finally, he said,
I think I can help you.
Jer'ait snorted.
Let's try that again. No need for.
Hold on. Did you say Jer'ait let out the fact or left out the fact? I couldn't tell.
Idiosyncrasy. Jer'ait let out the fact.
I said let.
Jer'ait left out the fact that, as an 11th Hajai with his particular idiosyncrasy. Jer'ait left out the fact that, as an 11th Hajai with his particular idiosyncrasy, there were plenty of parties out there who would try.
I can help you.
I did not tell you the story so you could make false offers, human. I'd expected you to kill everyone involved, and I can't tell if you're lying to me.
I'm not offering to kill anyone. To hell with that. I'm offering to set you up so you can drug yourself. Then I'll stay and make sure no one adds to the mix. Hell, I'll order some damned robots, let you program them yourself, if that would make you feel any better.
Jer'ait frowned at Joe. You can do that? He tapped the 8-pointed star on his chest.
Sometimes rank's got a few perks. I get the feeling if I took a dump in the middle of the mess hall, they'd laminate it.
I am gonna have so much fun, like writing his individual little escapades before the story. There's like 53 turns to play with. It's gonna be so much fun.
For Joe?
Yeah, like all his little battles and like the different places he's gone. This is gonna be fun. That's actually what the novella was. That was one of the things in the Zero Mark novella. It was like
Oh, really?
one of his first escapades.
Nice.
They'd laminate it.
Jer'ait peered at the human for a moment before saying, Why have you never moved past Prime? Why have you never moved past Prime?
Ask Phoenix. Ask Phoenix.
The human's voice held uncontained bitterness. I did, Jer'ait thought, and what she said made no sense. Curiously, Jer'ait said, What does she have against you?
I don't know.
Oops.
Against you?
I don't know.
Jer'ait was taken aback by the sincerity in the human's voice. You mean you have no idea? The human gave him a sharp look.
Do you?
There are rumors?
Do you?
There are rumors, Jer'ait said quickly, cursing himself for once again allowing the human to get the upper hand. To his relief, Joe didn't follow up on his statement. He sighed instead.
Mag never bothered to tell me. Just every promotion board I was ever nominated to stand before.
Joe shook his head.
She was too young when we lost our ground mates on Kofat. It's the only reason I can come up with that makes any sense.
Jer'ait looked back at the map. Arrange the operation. I'll get the chip. The human actually gave him a surprised look.
I honestly wasn't expecting you to say that.
He gave a huge, relieved sigh. The pressure of holding together his ground team, Jer'ait decided, was beginning to show in the human's features. Huge, relieved sigh. He actually wants us all to live, Jer'ait thought.
more than a little stunned. What kind of alien cared about aliens? There's noise outside. Too noisy. Sounds like a plane crashing in my neighborhood. That happens every once in a while. Planes just crash on my street.
So, like, where? No. Because that is a thing in Alaska, by the way. They crash a lot.
Aliens. I'll go get that started now. Commander Zero turned to go. But Joe. Jer'ait warned. Yeah. Jer'ait hesitated, considering again how much trust he was putting in this alien he was tasked to kill. An alien that was, in all ways, weaker than any Huouyt in existence. Keep them. He swallowed, his voice cracking with unexpected fear of what he intended to do. Jer'ait looked away and gathered his composure, fighting shame. Once he had collected himself, he tried to appear bored and said, "Just you and me in the room. Understand? Keep them. He swallowed. He felt the human's eyes sharpen in a way Jer'ait did not like. It's not about the drugs, is it? Jer'ait felt his breja ripple once before he reined them in. Just us. Or your team will be down to 4. Let him take that however he would. Then, before the human could ask anything else, or deduce any more about his state of struggle with the rest of Huouyt society, he left to gather the proper drugs.
Question, I was looking away for a minute. Did you say the rest of that paragraph after keep them?
I think so.
He swallowed, his voice cracking with unexpected fear.
Keep them. He swallowed, his voice cracking with
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, because I went back because
Oh.
I said the line, I read the narration, but it said his voice cracked during the narration, so I just went back after I was done with the narration.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Added the little bit of voice crack. Joe was watching the robotic arm inject the Huouyt with a third small dose of the chemical of his choice when an Ueshi in gray doctor's garb overrode Joe's lock and entered the room. Instantly, every tiny hair on Joe's neck and arms stood on end. We're almost finished, Joe said, deliberately putting space between him and the Ueshi. Shouldn't be more than another 10 ticks, Doc.
You shouldn't be in here,
The Ueshi snapped.
I don't know who you think you are. This is not accepted procedure. This operation is not registered. The medicines were not approved. You stole that chip, Commander. I tried to stall them, but you need to go down to security right now and explain what's going on.
Joe's eyes only briefly passed over the overseer circles. Before settling on the envelope he carried with him.
Did you
What's that?
stumble on what's going on, like ongoing? Like it almost sounded mumbled.
Where is that?
It was the Ueshi just a second ago.
I don't know who you think you are. I don't know who you think you are. This is not accepted procedure. This operation is not registered. The medicines were not approved. You stole that chip, Commander. I tried to stall them, but you need to go down to security right now and explain what's going on.
Joe's eyes only. Doesn't sound like it.
Nope, you did great. It must have been a glitch in the feed or something. I'm sorry.
All good.
Medical records.
The Ueshi said, tightening his arm over the envelope ever so slightly.
Bashar is highly sensitive to several different drugs. Fatally so.
We know. That's why he's dosing himself.
The Ueshi seemed to relax a bit.
Go deal with the administrators. I knew Bashar from Elor. I'll watch over him. He'd feel better to have me here when he wakes up than some alien he barely knows.
The Ueshi reached for Joe's arm, gesturing towards the door, but Joe quickly pulled it out of reach and stepped back. His eyes fell back to the envelope under the Ueshi's arm.
Seems a little lumpy for a medical record. What else is in there?
The Huouyt turned to Joe, for the first time taking his eyes off of where Jer'ait lay helpless on the table behind him.
You will leave now, human. This matter does not concern you. You will leave now, human. This matter does not concern you.
The anxiety was gone, replaced with cold threat. Joe took another step backwards, towards where Jer'ait lay helpless, and braced himself.
Yeah, it does.
The Ueshi's blue eyes were startlingly empty as they fixed on Joe.
Bashar was my patient on Elor. I know his metabolism best. I'm here to watch over him.
Go ahead and watch. I'm not moving from this table.
A flash of amusement crossed the Ueshi's blue face, and it stepped forward. Toward Joe. Joe brought his plasma pistol up and held it between them.
Get out, and quit the act. We both know you're not Huouyt.
Amusement vanished, replaced once more with an unreadable mask.
You would raise a gun to a superior officer?
I didn't know Vagans joined the army. Aside from Bashar, of course. But he's a peacemaker, so he doesn't count.
You think I'm an assassin?
The Ueshi's little blue-green face showed perfect surprise.
Show me what's in the envelope. Then we'll decide.
The Ueshi's head crest fluttered in annoyance.
I can have you thrown in the brig for impudence.
Then do it.
The Huouyt and Joe locked gazes for several ticks, watching each other in silence.
Jer'ait's almost awake. I'm sure he'll just love to see his old buddy from Elor.
The Huouyt cast one more look at Jer'ait, then leveled his dead gaze back on Joe.
You've been marked.
Funny. I never felt a thing.
You will,
the Vagan promised. Then, in silence, the Huouyt turned and exited the room. Joe holstered his weapon reluctantly. He knew deep in his heart he should have shot the bastard.
Joe?
Behind him, Jer'ait's voice was groggy and disoriented. Joe turned to him, catching him when the Huouyt tumbled off the bed.
How do you feel?
Fine. Jer'ait tried to stand, obviously not wanting Joe to see his weakness. He toppled forward again, and Joe threw his arm over his shoulder to hold him up.
Need a few more ticks?
The Huouyt glanced at the door, then glanced at Joe, then nodded miserably. He almost seemed like a small child that had badly cut himself. He acted scared.
You want me to wait outside? I can. If you need some time alone.
Jer'ait nodded silently, unable to meet Joe's eyes. Joe almost turned to go. Almost. Instead, he dropped into a squat so that he and the Huouyt were eye to eye.
There's no shame in it.
The Huouyt's head came up, his violet eye full of electricity.
There is.
Jer'ait's speech was slurred, and he turned away in humiliation.
No,
Joe said. He reached out and touched Jer'ait's arm.
You're my ground mate. You can trust me.
Jer'ait's gaze fell to where Joe touched his downy, cilia-covered skin. Then he looked up at Joe. Human, I could kill you in an instant, just as you are now. You'd be dead before you felt the prick. Knowing this, knowing the power I have over you, I cannot trust you. Simply because you cannot trust me. Joe did not remove his hand.
Listen to me. We're going to see each other in a lot of awkward situations. We're going to see each other battered and bloody, naked and crying. It's what we do. I don't like it, since I always thought Huouyt were evil bastards, but I've got to trust you. You're going to have my back in the tunnels. Besides, Jer'ait, if you wanted to kill me, you'd have done it already.
Perhaps, Jer'ait said softly. Then he stiffened, cocking his head at Joe.
Yeah, I know who you are.
The Jer'ait told you.
Who else? He was trying to bribe me into taking him back on the team.
I suppose it was too much to expect for his sentinel skills not to... Jer'ait cocked his head at Joe's shirt. What happened to your chest, Commander? Joe glanced down, then cursed inwardly. He'd left the collar open to cope with the heat inside the hospital room.
A few scratches from Daviin.
The openness the Huouyt had showed him quickly slammed shut behind a look. The openness the Huouyt had showed him quickly slammed shut behind a look of steel. Joe knew in that moment that Jer'ait had pieced together what Daviin had done. Sighing, he opened his shirt, displaying the scabby symbol Daviin had carved into his flesh.
The Ferg wanted to play with my blood.
He bound to you. Jer'ait's steely gaze melted again, replaced with simple shock. As your sentinel.
I didn't know what he was doing until it was too late.
Is he here now? Jer'ait gave the room a wary look.
No. He's outside in the hall somewhere, pacing like a nervous hen. He doesn't like me being in here with you alone.
Jer'ait's look hardened again.
As well he shouldn't.
The Huouyt began to stand. Joe held him in place.
Is there something you want to tell me about mysterious Huouyt doctors visiting you while you're out, Jer'ait?
The Huouyt jerked around to stare at him, horror oozing from its defective eye. You let him attend me?
Hell no. I convinced him to leave. Nicely. With a gun.
How? Did he touch you?
No, I'm not stupid.
Jer'ait's gaze sharpened. Did he carry anything with him?
Yep. An envelope.
Jer'ait's brejah rippled. And you're sure he never touched me?
There was a pissed-off Kongi with a plasma pistol standing between you and your enemies. There was a pissed-off Kongi with a plasma pistol standing between you and your enemies the whole time.
Joe squeezed his groundmate's shoulder.
Don't worry. I've got your back.
The Huouyt lowered his head, saying nothing.
So who was he? Something going on I need to know about?
No. Jer'ait said abruptly. He stood. Joe tried to help, but Jer'ait shook him off. The openness was gone, replaced with the same cold, hard indifference Joe had always seen. Thanks for your assistance, Commander. I will see you at the next briefing.
You jackass.
Next briefing.
You jackass. I just saved your life, you know that?
No, you didn't. Jer'ait said. Then, seeing Joe's face, he amended, He wouldn't have killed me.
Well, he wasn't there to chat war stories.
Goodbye, Commander. Jer'ait turned to leave.
How about dinner? How about dinner? How about dinner? Joe called after him. You've missed every single team chow. The others would like to get to know you.
No, they wouldn't. Jer'ait walked to the door and left. Daviin stuck his head in immediately. Locating Joe, he immediately seemed to calm. Should I just take out one of those immediatelys?
I would love that. I was just thinking that. Let me know which one you do, and I'll take it out.
It'll be the second one. Locating Joe, he seemed to calm.
The Huouyt did not look happy. The surgery failed?
No. I asked him to join us at chow. Anyway, you might as well show up for dinner tonight. No more point in pretending you won't be going down the tunnels with us. He knows what you did.
You told him? You told him?
He saw the mark you carved into my chest, thank you very much.
You mean you didn't? You mean you didn't cover it up? Vara's tech human, I lied for you. That's at least 4 levels of hell for every syllable.
I freaking love Daviin.
Good, so you won't have any problems doing it again.
Daviin stiffened.
No, that's not what that means.
We had a visitor. I think it was a Huouyt. The nasty kind.
Damn you, Joe. I knew I shouldn't have allowed you to ban me to the outer hall.
The Huouyt was here for Jer'ait, not for me.
But you stood in his way. He would have killed you too.
Probably.
Joe puzzled over Jer'ait a moment more, then sighed.
Be at dinner tonight. I want you to regale them with the tale of how you finally made me crack like a PG shell.
Daviin wrinkled his scaly snout in distaste.
A lie.
Joe winked.
How'd you guess?
That's another chapter. On to chapter 13. We're doing pretty good on time. What time is it now? 7:10. All right. I got just about an hour, just about 50 minutes left. Let's see. 14 pages. That'll be all right, I guess.
Yeah, it's been awesome so far. I'm like, I keep having to keep my mouth shut though. I don't know when I can interrupt you and when I can't.
No,
I mean,
it's
I'm
fine. Whenever.
trying not to.
It's all right. Interrupt me when I do something wrong. That's when.
Yeah, all right.
Chapter 13. Nope. Chapter 13. Suri. Suri stormed onto the ship, all 6 legs working in barely contained fury. His internal pressure had been at critical levels for the last 2 weeks, ever since the Jer'ait had tortured him until he gave up his real name and identification numbers. Even now, the authorities could be looking for him. The knowledge had left him unable to sleep. A constant nervous wreck all the way to his employer's ship. The constant strain was going to give him a rupture. As soon as he stepped into the dank room, the Huouyt said, I need to give myself some air here.
Has anyone ever suffocated in one of those booths?
I wouldn't. I
I
mean,
mean, it looks like it's airproof.
probability-wise, it should have happened at least once. It's got to have happened at least once. Got to. The Huouyt said. You look unhealthy, Suri. All right, so Suri needs... Is Suri... Yeah, Suri's a dude.
He's a Jahul.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm trying to think of what Jahul voices I've already used. Okay, I think I remember.
he's very empathetic. He's got like the highest rating on empathy, if that helps. He's not incredibly smart, but he's very good, like nice person.
Okay, there we go.
That was stupid, Forgotten. That Jer'ait almost killed me. He thought I had delivered that bomb. That was stupid, Forgotten.
Okay, I like the voice. Let me try it one more time.
You look unhealthy, Suri. That was stupid, Forgotten. That Jer'ait almost killed me. He thought I had delivered that bomb.
You did.
Fucking awesome.
Suri's internal pressure skyrocketed. He felt a slickening of his skin as his chambers voided themselves, then a sharp, blinding pain in his lower back.
Bomb?
You did. Okay, just making sure the timing's good there.
Careful,
Forgotten said.
you're going to rupture your liquids exchange. That Jer'ait almost killed me. He thought I had delivered that bomb. You had me. You had me.
Suri was so stunned that he could not think.
Freaking hiccups. I'm sorry.
That was not a part of our bargain.
He had destroyed a planet?
If I had told you about it, you wouldn't have been able to sound so convincing when the Jer'ait interrogated you.
Try one more time. No, actually, that was maybe good.
If I had told you about it, you wouldn't have been able to sound so convincing when the Jer'ait interrogated you.
Excuse me.
He took my identification. He knows who I am.
He'll do nothing with it. You assured him of your innocence.
Remembering the horrible hours wrapped in the Jer'ait's muscular body, the poisoned appendage almost touching him as the Jer'ait asked his questions, constricted within the Jer'ait's coils until Suri's internal chambers threatened to burst, Suri shuddered and fought down nausea. Wait a minute, is this the same dude that,
Yes,
that helped?
that was Daviin that did
Daviin? Yeah.
that. Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
Daviin.
Shit, let me go check his voice then. I might need to redo him. That was chapter 2, right? No, that was chapter 3. That was
shit.
chapter 3.
Let me check.
Chapter 2 was Joe's first chapter. Wasn't it?
I'm
I
looking.
can't remember now.
I think it was at the end of something. I'm looking. Oh, chapter 3 is Daviin Gavora, so it's in that one. Daviin.
No,
Okay, that was...
no, sir. I mean, yes, sir, I own a ship, but part of my cub disappear.
Okay, got it. Hey, Joy.
That was stupid.
That was stupid, forgotten. That Jer'ait almost killed me. He thought I had delivered that bomb.
Every fucking time you do that, I just crack up.
That was stupid, forgotten. That Jer'ait almost killed me. He thought I had delivered that bomb.
You did.
Perfect.
You had
me.
That was not a part of our bargain.
That was not a part of our bargain.
Sorry, my program is acting super slow right now because I just reopened the file. Here we go.
He took my...
Where'd it go?
He took my identification. He knows who I am.
That might not have been quite. Wasn't there like a lisp or something weird you're doing with his like a nasal thing?
Let me try. Let me check one more time.
Yeah, like this, maybe. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like
Forgot to plug my nose.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
The way I'm thinking about it is he's always forgetting to hold his breath.
Yeah. Well, these guys don't even really like breathe like we do. They kind of like breathe with their skin, but everything's like constantly like on the edge of exploding. So it's like,
You never know. I know a lot of people.
No, that's not him.
I ain't
No,
never.
no, this is chapter 2, sorry.
Daviin watched him.
You are Daviin Gavura. They think you fled the pit. They're looking for you in the city.
The Jahul's voice caught.
You have a 2 million credit bounty on your head.
So little, Daviin snorted. The Jahul swallowed.
Here, I'm going to copy him so that I bring him into the other set so that I don't have to go back and forth.
He's a little bit harder than I thought he was. That was stupid, forgotten.
Okay, yeah, see, you're right. I didn't plug my nose for this.
That was stupid, forgotten. That Jer'ait almost killed me. He thought I had delivered that bomb.
Suri?
That
Let's see. Is it not high enough?
They think you fled the pit. You are Daviin Gavura. Come, disappear.
Yep. Not quite high enough.
That was stupid, forgotten. That Jer'ait almost killed me. He thought I had delivered that bomb.
There we go.
yeah, that one was really good. Kind of wish you'd played the whole thing again, though.
Which part?
Forgotten saying you did.
That was stupid, forgotten. That Jer'ait almost killed me. He thought I had delivered that bomb.
You did.
Shit. That's great. That's awesome.
You had me.
Suri was so.
That was not a part of our bargain. That was not a part of our bargain.
He had destroyed.
There we go. That's a nice little...
Part of our bargain.
He had destroyed.
I like how it picks up right before the narration keeps going.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to start adding hiccups to these. Like... yeah, that's gonna be fun.
He took.
Fencing with the Jer'ait interrogated you.
He took my identification. He knows who I am.
Oh, that one was really good too.
He knows who I am.
He'll do nothing with it. You assured him of your innocence.
Remembering the horror.
I've never felt so helpless in my life. My life
Stands to reason. You've never been so helpless in your life.
One more time.
My life.
Stands to reason. You've never been so helpless in your life.
I actually like the first one better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Stands to reason. You've never been so helpless in your life.
It's just the accent at on the second one is weird. Ah,
Oh.
crap. Oh, now I lost my second take.
Shit.
Let's try this.
Stands to reason. You've never been so helpless in your life. Reason. You've never
Perfect.
been so helpless in your life.
Whoops.
Like, I'm literally feeling that. That was great.
Getting squeezed till I've voided.
Never felt so helpless in my life. Getting squeezed until I voided myself was not part of the bargain. I told you it was dangerous, Forgotten retorted. You told me, and I quote, danger.
Wait, maybe I should do it.
Just put it in series, like, voice.
Yeah.
Danger! Give me your worst, corpse rot. I live for danger.
All right, let's see. Let's just play this whole bit here.
I've never felt so helpless in my life.
Stands to reason. You've never been so helpless in your life.
Getting squeezed until I voided myself was not part of the bargain. I told you it was dangerous,
Forgotten retorted.
You told me, and I quote, danger! Give me your worst, corpse rot. I live for danger.
Awesome.
Oh, come on. What's going on here? What's going on? Okay.
You are a mercenary. You are, after all, a mercenary. You are, after all, a mercenary.
For danger.
You are, after all, a mercenary.
I'm a pirate. I'm a pirate.
Siri muttered.
Technically you aren't. You don't ambush and murder innocent caravans for their goods. You steal, smuggle, and rent your services out to the highest bidder.
Oops.
Technically you aren't. Last time I make that mistake.
Siri snapped.
You're going to get me killed.
You will not die in my service, Huouyt, Forgotten replied solemnly. A loyal agent is worth more to me than a dead one.
try!
No, he wants to snap.
And a dead one. And a dead one.
Nice try!
Dead one.
Nice try!
Okay, that works.
Suri snapped.
I'm done doing business with you, Goiji!
Then why are you here? Suri opened his mouth, then closed it again. It was true. Forgotten had transferred the money into his account the moment A's had exploded. Exploded. Where did that go? He had no reason to be here, other than to vent, and both of them knew Suri wouldn't waste valuable ship fuel to vent. Muttering, he said,
Last time I was here, you mentioned another job. 8 mil if I succeed.
Yes,
the fungus replied.
I want you to visit the Space Academy.
Space Academy.
Suri's jaw fell open.
I thought that was Suri's line.
No, Suri.
Forgotten said, sounding amused.
I don't want you to blow up Levrin. This is a
This is a personal matter. Suri's attention sharpened. He was good at reading people. It was the talent that had kept him out of peacemaker hands for over 20... It was the talent that had kept him out of peacemaker hands for over 20 turns of high-profile thievery. He never worked for someone else. He never worked for someone unless he felt sure he could read them like an open book. Forgotten was the only exception, Suri only gaining brief glimpses of the Goiji's intentions before they were shut off again. But Forgotten's money had been generous enough that Suri had been able to overlook that inconvenience.
How personal?
He asked carefully. Suri's civet, right? Yeah. Suri's civet were hit with a startling rush of something that felt like unhappiness before it was shut away again. I am currently involved in a scheme that creatures of very dubious integrity.
Did you say that or with?
I'm not sure. I'm redoing it anyway. I am currently involved in a scheme with creatures of very dubious integrity. Forgotten replied. I want you to ensure their side of the bargain is still intact.
What do they have in the Space Academy? What do they have in the Space Academy?
Suri demanded.
That place is a fortress. That place is a fortress.
Hold on, am I losing him?
Last time I was here, you...
Yeah, I'm losing him.
What do you want? What do they have in the Space Academy?
Suri demanded.
That place is a fortress.
What interests me is kept in climate-controlled... What interests me is kept in climate-controlled vaults in the basement, Forgotten replied.
I want you to get in and verify they... I want you to get in and verify they are what they are... I want you to get in and verify they are what they are purported to be. I can give you the access codes to all the security points along the way, then the bypass codes to the vaults themselves. It will be a simple operation. It didn't go unnoticed to Huouyt that the Goiji hadn't answered his question.
What's in the vaults? What's in the vaults?
Another startling wash of misery and loneliness?
Something very important to me.
The rush of truth was overwhelming, like cool water upon his civet. Huouyt liked that in Forgotten, he was always truthful. In that sense, he even reminded him of the infernal, self-righteous bastard that had spent 3 hours threatening to turn him into a pincushion, and meaning every word of it. This made... Say it again?
I just realized that I was struggling to figure it out, but I think the inflection was wrong on the word that in Forgotten, like that in Forgotten. I'm sorry, Huouyt liked that in Forgotten.
The rush of truth was overwhelming, like cool water upon his civet. I get what you were saying. Huouyt liked that in Forgotten. Huouyt liked that in Forgotten. He was always truthful, and meaning every word of it. This made Huouyt hesitate. Forgotten had only paid Huouyt 2 mil for A's. If a planet was worth 2 mil to Forgotten, Huouyt could not help but wonder what was worth 8. Tentatively, he said,
So, you want me to steal what's in the vaults?
Hold on.
This made...
What do they have in the space? Last time I was here, you mentioned...
Oh, hold on.
intact.
What do they have in the space station?
Huouyt.
Space Academy.
What do they have in the Space Academy?
Huouyt demanded. Intact.
Let me just take that attack off, maybe?
What do they have in the Space Academy?
Yeah, that's better.
What do they have in the space? That place is a fortress! That place is a fortress!
What in...
What's in the vault? What's in the vaults?
Another
How personal? So, you want... Yeah, it's kind of hard to remember this one.
Is it just the nasal thing or what?
No, it's just pitch. I keep wanting to go higher or lower.
Mm.
So, you want me to steal...
I don't want to listen to that.
What's in the vaults?
So you want me to steal? Where is that?
So, you want me to steal what's in the vaults?
You can't.
More misery hit his civet in a tide before the Goiji locked it away.
Feeling the sheer strength behind that raw emotion, Suri actually found himself feeling a little bad for the fungus. Whatever it was, it hurt him. A lot.
There's nothing I can't steal,
Suri offered gently.
Oops. Nope.
There's nothing I can't steal.
Suri offered gently.
Whatever they took from you, I can get it back.
You can't steal them, Forgotten repeated. Suri considered this. If he could put it in a ship, he could steal it. He supposed it was possible. Forgotten was trying to convince him it was impossible, so Suri wouldn't take them for himself. I do not lie, Jehu.
But you omit facts when it suits you. Whatever. But you omit facts when it suits you,
Suri retorted. Then, at Forgotten's lack of an answer, he added,
like, say, exploding the planet of a clan of invisible, poisonous, strangulation-prone super warriors that are irrationally bloodthirsty even for
Fuck. Almost got it.
like, but you omit whatever they took. You want me to what do they have in...
I just need to fill my brain with his voice.
Last time I make...
For some reason, he's just not sticking to my head very well.
See, exploding the planet of a clan of invisible, poisonous, strangulation-prone super warriors that are irrationally bloodthirsty even for dream.
That still rankled him. Good thing there were no survivors, or he would be dead. Simply dead. Forgotten said nothing. Suri knew he should leave right there, let the fool blow up his own planets. But something about the job fascinated him. It was Forgotten's reaction more than anything else. What could be more important than a planet? It tantalized him.
So, you're telling me all I have to do is get into the Space Academy and check out the vaults in the basement and then come back? Do you want documentation? Photographs?
Visual confirmation is all I need. Forgotten almost felt tired, old. Excuse me.
And nothing will explode,
Suri said pointedly.
No one will die. I don't like it when things die, Goiji.
Nothing will die. When Suri's gaze sharpened, the Goiji added,
Or explode.
I don't get it. Why is it worth 8 mil for me to just look? They find the Stone of Youth or something. There's some sort of plans you want me to read. You might find this surprising, but a Jehu's brain isn't as sharp as yours. I can't just look and take a picture in my head.
Just make the visual confirmation and you will have your money. Again, Suri's civet caught the briefest glimpse of sadness. Suri hesitated, frowning up at the black mass hung across the walls around him.
What the hell is wrong with you, Forgotten?
Siri got blasted with a brief flash of shock. The Goichi hesitated. Then,
You can feel my emotions, even when I try to hide them from you?
You know of some other way I became the greatest pirate in this sector?
oops.
You know some other way I became the greatest?
No.
You know some other way I became the greatest pirate in this sector?
Siri demanded.
You're a mercenary, Forgotten replied. Pirates kill people.
Then, belatedly,
Knowingly kill people.
Siri waved a hand dismissively.
Technicalities. Besides, everyone knows the AZ are self-righteous zealots. Now answer my question.
I have a problem that has bothered me for a while.
Forgotten admitted.
And?
And I'm working to rectify it. But I need your help.
Siri tapped his hard, calloused fingers against his chin.
Is this some way to get rid of me now?
Nope. Siri.
Is this some way to get rid of me now I've suited your purposes?
If I'd wanted to get rid of you,
Forgotten said softly,
I'd have killed you as soon as you stepped aboard my ship, ejected your corpse into an uncharted area of space. Space? If I'd wanted to, I'd have
I
killed...
don't know if this helps at all, but Siri is like the only one Forgotten actually cares about, so he's really not mean to him.
Right. This is just kind of like seems like he's just being absently insensitive.
Oh yeah, well, there's that too.
Yeah.
I'd have killed you as soon as you stepped aboard my ship, ejected your corpse into an uncharted area of space, and abandoned your ship in an area frequented by pirates.
Siri felt his internal chambers tighten, and a new slick spread over his skin.
Is that what you're going to do if I refuse?
No.
Around the room, Forgotten's body seemed to ripple with a glossy black wave, and Siri felt another tang of misery before it went still.
No, I'll leave you free to live your life however you choose.
No, wait, crap.
No, what?
Siri prodded.
You're gonna kill me somewhere else?
No. I'll leave you free to live your life however you choose,
The great mold replied.
I do not kill my agents.
Even though the Goiji emanated truth, Suri snorted.
You won't let me go on my own way, not after telling me about the bomb. I could tell the authorities.
They'll have worse things to accuse me of before I'm through.
Suri peered at the Goiji, realizing with a cold prickle that he was serious.
Worse than blowing up a planet?
Yes.
The Goiji sounded tired. That scared Suri more than anything.
That scared Suri more than anything. What could exhaust a Goiji?
Why are you doing it?
Suri asked softly.
You don't need the money. You bought me a new ship to take to A's like it was nothing to you.
You'll see soon enough. Again, that wash of exhaustion, strong enough to make Suri himself want to take a nap. Suri debated it. He knew that a normal employer would kill him as soon as he declined, regardless of what he said. Forgotten, however, was different. It seemed as if he truly did not care. It seemed as if he truly did not care what the authorities knew about his activities. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he was too smart for them to catch him.
Where are the rest of your kind?
Suri finally asked.
You'd think with a brain like yours, I'd hear about you ruling planets and managing companies. You'd be better at regulating the economy than the Bajna, if you wanted to waste your time at it. Your arts would humble the Ureki. Your sciences would shame the Ueshi. I mean, if you weren't focused on avoiding the Space Corps, you could bring our civilization into the next golden age all by yourself. You said you're only 311 turns old. So where are the rest of you?
That freaking hiccup right in the middle of it is like perfect.
Suri could feel a sadness emanate from the Goiji, though Forgotten said nothing.
They're dead, aren't they?
Suri said softly. He felt genuine sympathy for the great creature. Instead of answering, Forgotten said, Suri, answer me something truthfully.
So did you actually say they're dead, aren't they? Because if you did, none of that came through.
They're dead, aren't they?
Oh man, you did. Wow. That didn't even so it just cut out.
Might be internet's bullshits.
Answer me something truthfully. Answer me something truthfully.
I'll try.
Oops.
Does everyone think like you?
I break the law for a living, Goiji.
I'm serious. Suri sobered.
Would anyone else stepping onto my ship and seeing me for what I am see anything other than a way of getting what they want?
Oh, no, wait.
Yeah, I was about to say that's Forgotten.
Would anyone else, stepping onto my ship and seeing me for what I am, see anything other than a way of getting what they want? Would they see anything other than something to fear? Something that would try to control them, take over? Now Suri understood. Tentatively, he said,
If you're thinking about straightening out, I don't think Congress will ever forgive you. I mean, you've been a major pain in congressional ass for 250 turns?
304, if you believe their propaganda. They didn't know I existed until then. Suri grimaced.
My point is, Congress doesn't screw around. They'd execute me if they found me, but you... I think they'd keep you alive.
I know. Suri cocked his head at Forgotten.
Jer'ait cocked his head at Forgotten's answer.
Then I've got a question for you, Goiji.
What?
Would you go straight if you could?
It took Forgotten several moments to respond. Finally, he said, "Yes."
Cool. That was an awesome chapter.
That was great. Yes. Yes.
And it is
So-
8:00.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Oh, I'm just like I have to have more, so I'm desperate to know like when your next one is going to be.
Tomorrow, I'm let's see, 5 or 6 o'clock. I'll be doing it in Discord. No more cold reads, guys. After now, I'm gonna send this audio file and the rest of them over to our editors. He's gonna get it ready, and then this entire cold read series is gonna be on our platform for you to download for free if you want to. And obviously no video, but that's all right because you won't have to worry about using your data or whatever. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. It was a blast doing this again. I'm just I love this book a lot now. I'm just
Yay!
I'm so
Oh
excited
man,
to
I'm
keep
loving
going.
what you're doing with like, oh man, Forgotten is just blowing my mind here. I'm like, yes, that's so much better than I even thought it was gonna be. Oh my god. Like it in my head, he did do some voice switching, but you were like fucking taking that and just like making it extraordinary. It's like amazing. It's amazing.
Well, thank you so much, and I'm having fun with it. You know, I figure it kind of reminds me of like a DJ. You know, like he uses samples.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like when he's not agitated, when he's sort of like the whole, I don't know, last 5 minutes he's just been using that one voice, and it's because he's like kind of, you know, becoming self-conscious, but at the
Yeah.
same time kind of opening up emotionally. Like the way he switches, it's kind of like an emotional defense mechanism. It's kind of like when a person is, you know, constantly using humor to mask their actual emotions. I kind of figure the more he's trying to mask his own emotions, the more he's mixing it up.
Oh, it
Right.
was that totally comes through. It totally comes through. And I love the voice you picked. It's like a very it matches his inner self because his inner self is very empathetic.
Yeah.
That's why he likes Jer'ait so much is the little guy isn't smart, but he really cares about the world around him, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what Forgotten does. It's like he doesn't like being a criminal. He doesn't like having to run from the law or like any of that. I mean, he really wants to be a good guy, but they make it really hard.
Right. Yeah. So that was a great piece of character work. I had a lot of fun there. Tomorrow, back at it, 5 or I'm aiming for 5 or 6 o'clock p.m. on Discord, and that's central. But yeah, don't hold your breath on that, guys. You know, sometimes I have to sacrifice some narration time and kind of like get in late or miss it altogether for a day and like compensate by going overboard the next day. So yeah, just join the Discord server. Check the description of this video. You can find the Discord server link in that description there, and you can join. And make sure you get the notification squad role so that when I do notify people, you will be one of the people. So anyway, you guys have been fantastic. Thanks again, and I hope you have a good week, everybody. Later.
Bye.